Welcome back, girls. I hope you had fun starting your optical illusion art project last week. Yours shouldn't look like this quite yet. You should have your white paper with your black lines that are all going towards your vanishing point. The supplies that you're going to need today to finish this project is a black sheet of paper to put underneath. Well, it doesn't have to be black, just another sheet of paper that you're going to put underneath your drawing so that you protect the surface of your table. You'll need your drawing. Yours just has the black and white. And you're going to need some markers. We talked about this last week. You can use whatever markers that you have available to you. Your big, thick Crayola ones probably would be your best option. All right, girls, we're going to go ahead and get started by working on our drawing, and this time we're going to be filling it in with color. I would love for you to select two colors that you want to use. I have this lovely kind of minty green and a dark purple that I have used. Before we start putting that in, we're going to go ahead and mark our drawing in such a way that we know exactly how to fill it in. So I'm going to start by putting an X in all of every other space down here. And that is going to tell me which areas I'm going to color in one of those colors. On the one next to it, we are going to put the X's in the opposite squares or spaces, because we're going to color those in a different color. Before we go any farther, we want to go ahead and just color in that space so we can start to see what that's going to look like. And you can see how it begins to fill in. I'm just coloring in where I have those X's to start off with, because that's really going to help me figure out which spaces I want. And generally, I try to have all my lines go in the same direction so that it gets filled in really nicely. So we have our first dark pink area. We want to then go in with our, I'm using my minty green, whatever other color you chose. And you can see that as I fill this in, I am filling in the opposite spaces than were in that dark pink, so that there's always white or in between. You can see the next one that I have is down here. And these are really the longest lines that we have in this drawing, because my dot, my vanishing point, was not in the middle of my paper. Kind of cleaning that up. I have a dark sheet underneath my paper so that it doesn't soak through, the marker doesn't soak through onto the surface of my table. We're going to continue to work on filling in the colors in between. You can continue to put little X's in if you would like, so that you're not confused, but you can begin to see the pattern. So wherever I have this green, I'll skip, so there's a white, and then I would exit. So green, and that way I can see, so I'll just be coloring in these little sections right here. You can really see how the pattern begins. to appear. When you think about what colors you're going to choose, it's fun to choose two colors that are not similar. So the reason why I have a greenish color and a purpley pink color is because they're opposite each other on the color wheel. They make a nice, what we call, contrast. So when you're trying to decide, having some sort of yellow or orange with a blue or a green would look really nice. But you want to avoid doing a yellow and an orange because those are very similar. We want to try and have more visual contrast. I'm going to go in again, but this time I'm going to be working on the dark pink. If it is helpful for you to first put an X in the spaces that you're going to be coloring, then you should go ahead and do that, because you don't want to get confused and color in the wrong spaces. It takes a few minutes to get that X in there. We're going to go ahead, and you can see I've already colored some of mine in. I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. So I got a little bit ahead of you. I'm going to fill in this space here. So you can begin to see how our optical illusion is being formed with our rounded areas and then our areas that round out the opposite direction. When I look at these projects, I always think these look like big straws all going down to this point where they're getting farther away from me. So we just want to finish coloring in the rest of our optical illusion. And if you need to turn your paper and shift it to make that easier, I want you to go ahead and do that. I'll just finish coloring this in, and I will put it on a fast speed so you can watch it and go ahead and get started on your own. All right, girls, there you have it. That is our finished optical illusion. I love looking at this design. I feel like I'm looking at a bunch of colored pencils or straws that go to the center, and I feel like everything that is moving farther and farther away down into the single point or vanishing point. I hope you had fun making this optical illusion. There are so many other fun optical illusions out there to create. So I hope that if you really get into this, that you try making another one on your own. But please take your time, finish this off well, and post it on Seesaw. I hope you had fun doing it, and I look forward to seeing your projects. Have a great week.